Hello students, how are you? I want to believe that you are doing fine. I'm also doing okay. This is Teacher Hilda, your teacher for English, that is Senior 3. Before we start, I want you to first get ready with your notebooks and pens because we are going to study. So I want to remind you that this program is brought to you by the Rwanda Education Board in partnership with MASTERCARD Foundation and Inspire, Educate and Empower Rwanda. In our lesson today, we are going to look at describing income. Describing income. How do you describe income? How do you earn income, by the way? How does your father, he uses to cater for you? How does your mother earn the money she uses in the family? So this lesson is intended to help you understand different ways of earning money. The different ways of earning money so that you can plan your own projects that you can do in holidays, let's say after classes, among others. So you will also learn how to spend the money you earn in a responsible manner and save for future investments. We are all looking ahead to the future because we all want to have a better future. So that is why we really work hard so that we do what? We have a better future. That is why you also study so that you can have a bright future, because when I was young, my teachers used to tell me that education is so important, that it is going to help you when you grow up, which it is doing, by the way. So today's lesson, describing income, I'm going to first give you different ways in which you can earn money. There are a number of ways you can inherit the money from your parents. You can sell a product, get money. You can lend your money to a friend, and then they give you interest. That is you earning money still. So there are a number of ways in which you can earn money. So the first one is you can make YouTube videos. I believe you all have smartphones. You really do. And I don't know what you do on your smartphones, but then you can put your smartphone at work and it can help you earn money. So making YouTube video is a venture that is growing so rapidly. You can create videos in just about an area that you like. For example, music, tutorials, opinions, comedy, movie reviews. I mean, anything you want. Okay, whatever you like. You can singing, and then you record yourself, then you post your videos on YouTube, which can earn you money. Then how does this earn you money? When you put your videos on YouTube, you can then attach Google AdSense to the video, which will overlay your videos with automatic ads. Now, when viewers click to those ads, you will earn money from AdSense. Now, you post your music. Let's say you post something. I'm not saying that you all like music. We all have different things we like. But if you like something, let's say you're good at giving opinions. Now, in the due course of giving an opinion, there is an advert. When people click on the advert and they view their advert, you are going to get the money. So the keys will be to create compelling videos, to promote those videos on social media websites, and to create enough of them that your income will be coming from multiple sources, not just one. So there is a good bit of work that goes into creating videos, but once a video is done, it can become completely passive cash flow source for a very long time. Now, when you do this, when people keep watching your videos and looking at those ads, money is going to keep coming in. So that is one way in which you can make money. The other thing is you can put your photography to work on the website. Some of us like photos. Some of us like art. I believe you also like art. So how are you going to put your photography to work on the web? Now, you're going to convert your photography into income. How are you going to do it? You're going to sell your photographs on different websites. Okay? Now, but before you do that, do you like photography? Now, if you do, you may be able to convert it into a passive income source. Now, photography websites such as Shutterstock can provide you with platforms to sell your photographs. They may offer either a percentage or a flat fee of each photo that is sold to a site client. Okay, so in this way, a single photo could represent a cash flow source since it can be sold again and again. So you can sell one photo to multiple clients, and of course those multiple clients are giving you money. That is how you can make money. Okay, so you can put your photographer. Some of us are are good at taking photos. So the other way in which you could make money is write an ebook. And now this can be a lot of work up front because you're going to have to write a book. Okay, it includes a lot of things in writing a book and then publishing it, among other things. But once the ebook is created and marketed, it can provide you with some money for years. So you can either sell the ebook on your own website or offer it as an affiliate arrangement with other websites that provide content related to your book. Now, you may write a book about tourism. Now, what you're going to do, you're going to look for those websites that promote tourism so that you can sell your book there, and then clients are going to buy your book, and then you are also going to earn some money from it. Come along and play with us. Now, the other way in which you can make money is that you can sell your own product on internet. Now, the possibilities here are endless. You can sell just about any product or service that you like. It could be a product you have created and can manufacture on your own, or it could be digital in nature, such as software, DVDs, even instrumental videos. Now, you can set up a dedicated website for this product or service, unless, of course, you have a website or a blog already in place. So alternatively, you can also sell it on an affiliate basis, either by offering it direct to websites and blogs related to your product or service, or through other platforms. Now, if you make a lot of money in your current job, you are not sure that you can make a similar amount by selling a product online. But think about it. You can learn to sell products online too and make quite a bit of money. So you might decide to keep your job, but then sell something on the internet, something you like. Let's say you're going to make baskets and you want people to buy them. How are you going to sell them? You're going to put them out there for people to see them, and they're going to buy them. So that is also another way of doing what? Of earning some money. So the other way is you can invest in real estate. This falls into more of the category of let's say people who are really so conversant with real estate. But since an investment in real estate is always at least a little bit of an active venture, so still you can have a property that is established and fully rented. Now, you have a property, let's say you inherited it, or they gave it to you, let's say a house, and then you want to rent it out. Now, when you rent it out, you're going to get some money. Then there are these people who have their buildings, but they don't have time to manage them. What are you going to do? You're going to help them manage them on their behalf, and then you're going to earn some bit of money. So the other way in which you can earn some money is set up a website selling a product. Now, if there is a product that you are particularly knowledgeable about, you may be able to sell it on a dedicated website. So the technique is similar to what you would use for your own product, except that you will not be concerning yourself with product creation, but only with the sale of someone else's product. Now, it's not a matter of just selling what you create. Sometimes you might sell some other person's product. Now, I might be good at making, let's say, sweaters, but I don't have time to sell them. Then I'll get some other person to do what? To sell them on my behalf. And that is another way of making money. I'm selling a product which is not mine, but I'm making some money out of it, some commission out of it. Then the other way in which you could make money is you could build an application. Now, apps can bring in money like big time. So think about how many people these days have smartphones. So and people are downloading apps like crazy. You also download apps. Let's say you have a smartphone. Which apps do you download? Most of the females download Candy Crush. Boys download games. I mean, people have smartphones and they use them for different things. Now, when you make an app, let's say an app that make people's lives easier. So whether it is an app that helps people put together nice pictures for their blogs, or an app that keeps track of tasks, there are helpful apps out there for everyone. So you might be asking, if there are so many apps out there, why would I want to attempt to create an app? So yes, there is a lot of competition, but if you come up with something unique you can make quite a bit of money. So the other way in which you could earn money is create an online course. Now, everyone is an expert at something. Why not create an online course about your passion? Now, if you are good, let's say, at football, you could give tutorials about football. Now, you create a course on how to be a good footballer, and then you put your content there. And then people who want to become better footballers can do what? Can go to your website and then log in and do what? And read about that. Now, there are a number of ways you can produce and host your own online course. One very simple way is to use a website which has many students and has great content. Now, once you create an online course, it can work for a while as you sleep, as you go to bed, because you have already put the content you want to put across there to the learners. So what do? The learners just log in and they read what they have to read. So now, what do you put in your online course? Now, you can add video lessons, checklists for completing steps, and then you can also add small ebooks to supplement the lessons. You can put audio files for people listening while traveling, informative interviews with experts, and a whole bunch more, like a number of things. So in fact, you can create several packages at different prices. Some people will want anything or everything. So you can include the works for the highest prices and then have two lower price points so that you can receive the largest possible volume of orders. Okay, so you can create an online course. And then the other way is that you can make an online guide. Most of us do not know certain things. For example, you might not know how to make a cake, but then someone has put a guide on how to make a cake, and then you're going to follow the guide. Now, when you log into the website, remember, some websites are paid for. You're going to have to pay to watch the video. So when you provide specific information in a guide-like format, you can make money through some of the means already addressed. Advertisements through Google AdSense, among others, can sell your online guide, and it is really a fantastic idea. Now, you can make money in a number of ways. There are so many. I've given you some of them. You can decide on which one you want to do which one you want to venture in. Like I said, you can be a farmer, then grow your own crops, and then sell them when they grow, of course, and then sell them and earn some money. So those are the few ways in which people earn money. Then I'm going to ask you to tell me, how do the people at your home earn their money? How do they earn their money? Do they work? I mean, you just tell me how the people at your home earn their money. Come along and play with us. So I believe most of the people at home, let's say your neighbors, your sister, your uncles, earn money in different ways. For example, they can invest. They had money and then invested it, and then that is how their money keeps coming in. Or they withdraw money from the bank. That is also another way of them having money. They also earn money by working. Most of our parents earn money by working. You go in the morning and work, and then let's say at the end of the month, they are paid. So that is how they earn. They earn money. They go to work and then earn the money. Okay? So we are going to read a passage and we are going to answer a few questions about it. It is really an interesting passage and I want you to learn something from it, all right? So it reads, Kalekezi works in a shoe factory and earns 1 million francs a year. His brother Paul is a businessman in Kigali and earns 6 million francs a year. Kalekezi saves nearly all his wages and spends only a little on food, but Paul wastes all his money on gambling, such as sports betting, which he is not even good at. He loses most of the time, and when he wins, he drinks all the money. They inherited 2 million francs each from their grandfather, who was killed during the genocide against the Tutsi in 1994. Kalekezi invested his share in land. He bought plots of land, and when their value had risen, he sold them off at a profit. Paul lost all his money on betting, expecting it to multiply. He often borrows money from Kalekezi, but never pays him back. He thinks that it is his brother's duty to save him from financial problems. Now he owes him a fortune. Kalekezi is really lucky. Last week, he went to withdraw some money from a cash point machine. He found 5,000 franc note on the ground in the ATM. He invited Paul to his house to celebrate. Kalekezi went outside to receive a phone call and left his jacket in the sofa. When he returned, he saw Paul stealing money from his wallet. Kalekezi decided to never lend Paul money again. So that is our simple passage. It is about Kalekezi and Paul, how they spend their money and how they earn their money. We are going to read the passage one more time. Kalekezi works in a shoe factory and earns 1 million francs a year. His brother Paul is a businessman in Kigali, earns 6 million francs a year. Kalekezi saves nearly all his wages and spends only a little on food, but Paul wastes all his money on gambling, such as sports betting, which he is not even good at. He loses most of the time, and when he wins, he drinks all the money. They inherited 2 million francs, each from their grandfather who was killed during the genocide against the Tutsi in 1994. Kalekezi invested his share in land. He bought plots of land, and when their value had risen, he sold them off to a profit. Paul lost all his money on betting, expecting it to multiply. He often borrows money from Kalekezi, but never pays him back. He thinks that it is his brother's duty to save him from financial problems. Now he owes him a fortune. Kalekezi is really lucky. Last week, when he went to withdraw some money from a cash point machine, he found a 5,000 note on the ground in the ATM. He invited Paul to his house to celebrate. Kalekezi went outside to receive a phone call and left his jacket on the sofa. When he returned, he saw Paul stealing money from his wallet. Kalekezi decided never to lend Paul money again.
Come along and play with us.
Now, here are the questions. Number 1, what can you tell about Kalekezi and Paul? What can you tell about Kalekezi and Paul? Number 2, how did they get their first money? How did they get their first money? What happened to the owner? What happened to the owner? Number 3, what did they do with the money? What did they do with the money inherited from their father? What did they do with the money inherited from their father? Who used it well? Who used it well? Explain. Number 3 reads, what did they do with the money inherited from their father and who used it well? Explain. Number 4, was it a good idea for Kalekezi to call Paul to his house to celebrate? Was it a good idea for Kalekezi to call Paul to his house to celebrate? Number 5, did Kalekezi make a good decision never to lend money to Paul again? Did Kalekezi make a good decision never to lend money to Paul again? Why? Number 6, have you ever borrowed money and never paid it back? Have you ever borrowed money and never paid it back? Have you ever borrowed money and never paid it back? What caused you not to pay? So we are going to read the passage one more time, or let's say twice, and then I'm going to give you some time to answer those questions, okay? I'm going to read the questions again for one more time, and then I'll read the passage, and then you answer the questions. Number 1 reads, what can you tell about Kalekezi and Paul? What can you tell about Kalekezi and Paul? Number 2, how did they get their first money? How did they get their first money? What had happened to the owner? What had happened to the owner? Number 3, what did they do with the money inherited? What did they do with the money inherited from their father, and who used it well? And who used it well? Explain. Number 4. Was it a good idea for Kalekezi to call Paul to his house to celebrate? Was it a good idea for Kalekezi to call Paul to his house to celebrate? Number 5. Did Kalekezi make a good decision? Did Kalekezi make a good decision never to lend money to Paul again? Okay? And then number 6. Have you ever borrowed money and never paid it back? Have you ever borrowed money and never paid it back? What caused you not to pay? What caused you not to pay? So I'm going to read the passage again. Kalekezi works in a shoe factory and earns 1 million francs a year. His brother Paul is a businessman in Kigali and earns 6 million francs a year. Kalekezi saves nearly all his wages and spends only a little on food, but Paul wastes all his money on gambling, such as sports betting, which he is not even good at. He loses most of the time, and when he wins, he drinks all the money. They inherited 2 million francs each from their grandfather, who was killed during the genocide against the Tutsi in 1994. Kalekezi invested his share in land. He bought plots of land, and when their value had risen, he sold them off at a profit. Paul lost all his money on betting, expecting it to multiply. He often borrows money from Kalekezi, but never pays him back. He thinks that it is his brother's duty to save him from financial problems. Now he owes him a fortune. Kalekezi is really lucky. Last week, when he went to withdraw some money from the cash point machine, he found 5,000 note on the ground in the ATM. He invited Paul to his house to celebrate. Kalekezi went outside to receive a phone call and left his jacket on the sofa. When he returned, he saw Paul stealing money from his wallet. Kalekezi decided never to lend Paul money again. I'm going to read it for one last time and we answer the questions. Kalekezi works in a shoe factory and earns 1 million francs a year. His brother Paul is a businessman in Kigali and earns 6 million francs a year. Kalekezi saves nearly all his wages and spends only a little on food. But Paul wastes all his money on gambling, such as sports betting, which he is not even good at. He loses most of the time, and when he wins, he drinks all the money. They inherited 2 million francs each from their grandfather, who was killed during the genocide against the Tutsi in 1994. Kalekezi invested his share in land. He bought plots of land, and when their value had risen, he sold them off at a profit. Paul lost all his money on betting, expecting it to multiply. He often borrows money from Kalekezi, but never pays him back. He thinks that it is his brother's duty to save him from financial problems. Now he owes him a fortune. Kalekezi is really lucky. Last week, when he went to withdraw money from a cash point machine, he found a 5,000 note on the ground in the ATM. He invited Paul to his house to celebrate. Kalekezi went outside to receive a phone call and left his jacket on the sofa. When he returned, he saw Paul stealing money from his wallet. Kalekezi decided never to lend Paul money again. So I want you to answer the questions, and then we shall look at the answers you have. Now let us look at the answers. Number one says, what can you tell about Kalekezi and Paul? What can you tell about Kalekezi and Paul? Now, Paul doesn't know how to spend the money he earns, while Kalekezi knows. So Kalekezi is a spender, while Paul is an investor. Paul is a gambler, while Kalekezi saves his money. So Paul does not know how to save his money, the money he earns. Not so. How does he spend the money? He just gambles. He gambles, and then he is not even good at gambling. But then when he wins, he drinks all the money. Kalekezi knows how to spend his money. What did he do? He invested his money in land. He bought land, and then when their value had risen, he sold the plots of land off at an at an interest. Okay, so let us look at number 2. Number 2 reads, how did they get their first money? How did they get their first money, and what happened to the owner? How did they get their first money, and what happened to the owner? Now, they got their first money from an inheritance. They inherited some money from their grandfather. So I'm going to ask you to answer the rest of the questions. Answer the rest of the questions so that I can see how well you have been listening. So I want you to thank you for paying attention, being with me at this particular time, allowing us to study. I want to ask you to keep safe. Keep safe until we meet again. I think schools will open soon. So keep safe until we meet again. And I want you to stay safe. I want you to keep revising your books until we meet again. Let's say in the next lesson. So see you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, 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 teacher. Goodbye, children. See you next time. Goodbye, 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 teacher. Goodbye, children. See you